I've never shared anything like this before, but I feel like I have to. It's one of those things that doesn't make sense, and even now, I'm not sure if I believe it fully. But it left a mark on me that I can't shake. It all started late one night when I was working at my desk, half awake and tired. Suddenly, I felt the unmistakable sensation of being watched. Not paranoia, but a physical feeling, like a cold presence behind me. I turned toward the window and saw a man standing in the courtyard outside. He wasn't close, just standing there motionless, facing my window as if he had been there for a long time. His silhouette was vague, but his posture was unnaturally stiff and rigid. For a moment, we just stayed like that, me staring, him standing. Then he turned slowly and disappeared behind the trees. I tried to convince myself it was just a neighbor or someone passing through, but something about it felt wrong, too precise and too quiet. The next morning, I found an old notebook sitting on the bench directly across from my window. It looked worn and yellowed with age, but the first page seemed new. Someone had written, "Observations," on the cover, and inside were a few sparse notes, just times with no explanation. One entry mentioned the window being open at a time when I knew for sure it wasn't. I wanted to dismiss it, to be rational, but that night, I heard a whisper from outside. It wasn't words, more like breath against glass. When I peeked through the curtain, the man was there again, in the same spot and stance. He raised his hand and pointed behind me. I spun around, tripping over my chair, but nothing was there. When I looked back, he was gone. I couldn't sleep that night. Days later, I found a folded piece of paper slipped under my door with my name on it and a single instruction to close the curtains at a specific time. I stayed awake that night, heart pounding. When the time came, a heavy pressure pushed against the window from outside. It wasn't a gentle tap but a forceful shove. I closed the curtains and the pressure stopped instantly. I had a friend come over to check the courtyard. We found a hidden maintenance door behind a dumpster I'd never noticed. Inside was a dusty room filled mostly with old cleaning supplies but also a stack of brand new notebooks identical to the one I found. Most were blank, but one had a recent entry indicating someone knew they had been seen. I moved out as soon as I could, packing in a hurry and leaving without explanation. On my last night, I looked out the window one final time and saw the man standing under the courtyard light, closer than before. His face was visible now, but it didn't look real. It was like a sketch drawn on smooth skin, too perfect, too flat, too still. He lifted his hand again and pointed toward the empty apartment across the way, the one I never saw anyone enter. After I left, I got a message from my old neighbor mentioning hearing footsteps in my old apartment late at night, with no lights on. Even now, in my new place, sometimes I get the same feeling, like someone is standing just outside my window, watching and waiting. And I'm too afraid to look.